Hello. Thank you for joining the Voice of Many podcasts. Today's show is a show like we have never done before. It is actually a show to where I'm going to say, grab your tissues, not to cry, but grab your tissues to help you laugh because you're going to share some tears. Our guest is the one and only Miss Francoise. If you never heard of her, you need to check out the Miss Francoise show. She deals with relationships, she has the questions, but she is also one who takes it to another level. She tells the truth, the deep truth. And we want to welcome Miss Francoise to our show. She is all the way, you can see her in New York, I have to say this, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., as well as in Canada and in the Caribbeans. So, how you doing, Miss Francoise?
I am amazing. As always, you can see no matter which side I turn, I look amazing. I'm a
Yes,
cutie
you
pie.
do. I love you. I mean, you are like together to the T. You
I
are
know, and I didn't even have to try.
Oh man. Will you share a little bit about yourself and
Oh,
what it is that you do that is so amazing?
that's what I like to talk about me. Again, my name is Miss Francoise. That's MSS for multi-talented and super sexy. So I am the host of the Miss Francois Show. And what that encompasses is candid conversation, a variety of entertainment, and I use humor to help you deal with your dysfunctional relationships, right? And that's not a negative because we all have
Yeah.
some sort of dysfunction in our relationship. I came up with the whole show concept because men in my life has cheated. You know, you've been in and out of relationships. We hurt, we cry, we tell our friends the same story over and over. They don't care. They're glad it's not you, plus it's not them, and most likely they were sleeping with your man anyway, and you just didn't know.
Hey.
So after you cry and you feel sad and sorry for yourself, I decided instead of spending all this time not bathing, crying all the time, feeling depressed, and making others depressed, why not laugh at it? How many times do we not in our present time look back in your past relationships at yourself, at your mate, at situations, and you laugh? So I thought it was like an easier thing. And when you look up laughter, it produces so many endorphins that help you to extinguish pain and move forward. So I just
Mhm.
decided to take this whole concept on relationship, add some humor so it's easy for us to deal with.
True, true, very true. Wonderful.
I know because I said it.
Oh,
So,
boy.
how did you decide after focusing on your talk show and your comic twist that you do with your show that that is exactly what you wanted to do with your own situations
Why
that
she
you
gotta
have?
be all intense? Oh my God. So Vanessa. So your question is after I came up with the show, exactly what it is that what?
How did you decide that that's what you wanted to do other than making people laugh? How was that for you? Like,
Oh, girl, I didn't know what I wanted to do. That was God. Okay. All I know, I just wanted to release some of this anger, make myself laugh. My show has evolved so much. It's going into the fifth season, so that's 5 years. And now it has evolved into something. It's still up talk about relationships and all these different things and helping us move forward. But at the
Mhm,
same time, I've helped other entertainers because in the beginning of the show, because I typically do my show in a studio, I
mhm,
have found entertainers. They get to show their art. It could be poetry, it could be singing, it could be comedy.
mhm.
So I get that aspect of it. So it has evolved so much. You know, I get to bring people on who have done books, have done movies, musical stars. So it's so many different things. It encompasses now not only one thing, but I always do come back to relationships. So I think the show has have its own mind of its own now compared to how I started it and the reason why I started it.
Mhm.
so
Very
for your
true.
younger followers, what would you say to them about keeping it lively in the relationship as far as the long distance?
Girl, let me tell y'all. So long distance people don't understand. It's not as hard as it is. I realize sometimes long distance relationship, every relationship is different for different people. It's if two
Right.
people want to work at something and be together,
Mhm.
distance is nothing, especially in this day and age. And I tell people, this is not the time when you had to give the letter to the dove and he had to fly, or the horseback and he'd take 2 months to get the letter. Those relationships even last back in those days. Now we have our phones.
Yeah.
Communication is key. And what if
Mhm.
you have your phones, you have your Zoom, you have so many mediums in order to contact each other, but it's what you do with the mediums. It's nice to have a conversation, but why not have movie night? It's exciting to have watch a movie. Again, you have your Netflix, your Hulu, whatever you decide. But again, we still have to keep things spicy. But before going into any spiciness, right? My
Mhm.
thing was to have so many like card games. One of my favorite is called Skin Deep. And it's these card games that go through different times in a relationship. So if you're just dating, they have questions for these things. If you're
Mhm.
intimate, if it's sexuality, if it's in a serious long-term relationship. And with these cards, through the phone, you can have these conversations because you get to know each other more. You get to know yourself more. You get to even get to find out if this is the person you want to be with according to the questions and answers. So
Mhm.
it's to use these mediums to definitely get to know the person and evolve as things goes on. But don't forget to keep it spicy. You have sexting, you have all different things you can do. I can't show none of you all right now because this is a family show, I believe, okay? So just keep things spicy, keep things fun, keep things exciting.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be like, hi, how you doing? Okay, you're gonna get cheated on immediately. I'll cheat on you.
Well, I want to say, I know with all of the history that you've had, that all of us have had with relationships, there comes a point in time that where the breakups, we tend to always look back at those, and we keep trying to pull back and grab back to what we had because that's our comfort. We know it was there. So, how do we move forward? How did you find your ability to move forward from the breakups?
So my thing is that people always say, "Oh, don't look back." I'm like, "Shut up." You have to. It's part of your story. You have to look back in order to move forward. I think people look back at the wrong thing because a lot of times, anytime we look back at something, we see all the negative. When he cheated, when he
Mm-hmm.
did this, when he said this. But a lot of times, when you look back in your life, I think people forget to look at the successes, the things you have come from, what you have, that relationship. Okay, you did this and that happened. What can I learn from that in order to move forward, not to repeat the same thing? Help me not to pick the same person. Is a lot of things is a pattern in our life. So if you look back and see that pattern, you know not to go down that street and maybe you should cross the road and do something. And even with that is also looking back and taking responsibility. A lot of times we always blame the other person. I mean, again, it's not your fault the person cheated on you, so forth and so on, or whatever happened in that relationship, but it's your responsibility to learn from it, grow, and move forward. Too
Mm-hmm.
many times we sit, I'm like, he did this and he did this. Okay, but what were you doing? Maybe you stayed too long. Maybe that's part of you should take responsibility for that.
Mm-hmm.
And my last thing I always like to say when you look back is to celebrate certain victories in your life on a whole. A lot of times in the moment we are in the present time, and this is for me also, we start to say, oh, I wish I was here. I wish I was this age. I should have done this at this time. I wish I knew this. But okay, we didn't. We know it now. What are we going to do with that? Celebrate all the things you have accomplished, regardless if it's you graduate college, you got promoted, and just celebrate certain things. And when you see, I like have mine as a whole long, it's called a badass list. All these amazing things you have done, look back, celebrate yourself, and just move forward. You'll be amazed of what you'll accomplish going forward. Damn, I'm intelligent. Jesus.
Well, I have realized how to love me, how to appreciate Yolanda more so than always focusing on that person in a relationship. Focus on yourself. Find yourself before you go into a new relationship. Know what really makes you happy. Do the things that you want to do that you've never done before or you couldn't do in the past. And like you say, look back on the reason why you weren't able to do those things with that person that you were with previously. So that's one thing that I've learned from my breakups. Well, not breakups, divorce. So and so forth. So, and just learning how powerful and how strong you really are.
Very true.
That's the main thing. So will you share with us ways to help people transition when after the breakup?
Well, let me tell you what I had now. So one of my
Tell us,
things,
please.
right? I, there's so many different things. I said different people heal differently, but it's certain things that I've definitely found, and this is why it comes to like writing a book about the whole subject. Is my thing was the first thing that I realized I had to do was I call it clean house, right? Because a lot of times when we end a relationship, what are we doing? We're watching the videos, we're watching the pictures, we're looking at the teddy bear, we put on his t-shirt, we smelling the under. Oh no, that's what I did. Don't do that. Don't smell his underwear. At least make sure it's washed, right? So we tend to live in the past, and what the one thing that helped me to get over my relationship in 2018 is I literally packed all these things in some garbage bags, and I had to really actually clean house and let it go, because that's the beginning of healing. Otherwise, it's very hard to move on if you're watching something every day and reminiscing every day. And it's hard. No one said any of these things are easy, but we all have come through it and we're still alive. So obviously it can be done.
Yeah, that's true. It is so true.
Okay, so yeah, Yolanda, you need to get rid of husband 1, 2, 3 things, okay?
I did. Believe me, I did. Especially number 3. They're all gone. Oh man. So you wrote a book. I'm gonna let and so the name of your book represents you in so many ways. So please say the name of your book.
So I don't know if this is PG-13. So
Just say it.
so the name of the book is actually Let That Fucking Man Go, right? That is the name of the book. But I always tell people, the funny thing is I don't even curse. But the reason I put symbols in the middle there, because I said everybody is different. It could be let that stink man go, that evil man go, whatever word at that point in time that you're feeling frustrated. Because I didn't want to have no, here are some wonderful ways. You're angry and pissed off. You're not happy and running through the fields, okay? So it was my way of getting 5+ tools in order to help us get over a breakup. And it's a form of a book with some stories, but at the same time, actual things, actual steps, and it's a journal in order to help you to make a breakthrough. You know, I don't know why I'm not a millionaire, because I am wouldn't you say, Vanessa? My goodness, you're lucky I'm talking to you guys right now.
Well, we appreciate it. I tell you, it's awesome. Oh, man.
But that's basically what the book is really to help you on your way to start to get over that person. No one says you're going to heal immediately. There's no immediate healing, you know. Oh no, there's none of that. Right. But it's definitely to help you on that journey.
And I love the way you did the title, because like you said, you could be saying, yes, that F man, you could say that sorry man, you could say that whatever. Okay. But all right. Yeah. I love your title.
Thank you.
Before I move to the next question, I want to ask you something. When you were going through these relationships, what made you say, you know what, I've got to change and love myself and get to where you are now?
Why Vanessa had to be the deep one?
I know.
But anyway, and hear her voice. What
I-
made you have to change? And what, really, Vanessa? Okay. All right. Again, I'll say this. I always describe it like riding a bike. If you keep falling off and you bruise your knee and you hit your head and you're bleeding, after a while, you'll figure out maybe you need a helmet or maybe you need to stop riding that bike down that street. So certain times after you've been hurt a certain amount of times, you have to really pause and say, what the hell am I doing? And what can I do differently? And a lot of times, sometimes you start to get that answer within you. You have your conscience, but at the same time, sometimes you have, I believe in having a confidant that someone, not the friend that help you to go outside in the streets and have sex with random stranger to forget your ex, not those. You're confident that you could actually listen to help and help to guide you. Some people have mentors, some people have coaches, but you sometimes you need to reach out for that other person that could shake you a little, listen a little, and help you to make the right decision for yourself.
Yeah.
Is that a proper answer, Vanessa?
I
You
was
must
just
have about 2
wanted to
PhDs.
ask because I think somebody, whoever is listening or watching this, probably needs that information.
Okay, Vanessa, thank
Yeah.
you for that question.
Yeah. I just want to say too, from the point of being there 3 times, sign of completion 3 times, is that a lot of times us as women, we get into a situation where we feel like I said earlier, we know what we already have. We settle. And that's where we go wrong, because that's when the hurt starts. That's when the abuse starts, is when we say, okay, I'm just going to live with this. I can get through this. It's not that bad. I don't want to try the new seasoning on the meat. You just have to learn to say, I'm worth more than this. I can do so much better. And when the person tells you, hey, oh, you're not going to get anybody else. I don't think who's
been told that a few times.
I'm like, oh, let me show you, and
Vanessa, I didn't know your mom was a gangster, but okay, go ahead, show us.
Yeah. So, because that's one thing, my daughter has been there with me through all 3 of my marriages. And the thing is, I've always wanted to show her is that no matter who you are, no matter how you may look on the outside, you have to love you for the inside. And so when a man tells you nobody's going to want you because of your age or the fact that you have a child, honey, you throw on them tight pants and them heels and that low cut cleavage shirt and you go for it. You feel good about yourself. All of that hurt that you had, you have to control it, but you have to learn to love yourself and shake it off and let yourself go like you never have before and say, hey, I am here to be seen. I'm here to be heard, but respect me and respect yourself at the same time.
Vanessa, I sense husband number 4 is well on his way.
Amen.
I'm done.
And I was going to say too, I know for us as women, when we do settle, we also settle for a fixer-upper. So change him. We can mend him, or I can be everything that he needs so I can help fix him. And half the time that is not what that person wants or who you need.
I don't need a man with instructions no more.
Yeah, I've been there. That was my go-to. I can help him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see his potential.
You're gonna save him. You don't know what you can do, baby. But yes, okay. But there's a woman, I mean, ladies, you're out there and you're saying, oh, but it's not that bad.
That's settling.
No.
You deserve better. We all deserve better.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
And how can our followers get in contact with you and get a copy of your book?
Well, I made everything easy. If you check my website out, www.mssfrancois.com, it leads you to all my social media, and I'm on all of the social media. And definitely you could get my book there, or to make it easy, you just type in Miss Francois on Amazon and the book will definitely pop up.
Yes. I tell you, fun. I could do this with you for a lot.
I know. I get that a lot, yeah. I'm not humble whatsoever.
Oh, honey. Like you say, I don't try to be gangster, but I ain't no... Just keep it real.
Do you have any advice for any of our listeners or viewers who might be struggling or in a situation and don't know what to do?
Oh, what? I say a therapist? No, my thing is my biggest thing I always say, and like I said, having a confidant, right? Is
Mhm.
knowing
Mhm.
who your friends are. A lot of people have a bunch of friends and BFF and friends with benefit. And I always say people water down the word friends, so I don't like that word too much. And
Mhm.
I always say a confidant is so different, and everyone needs to have one. And TD Jakes actually say you're lucky enough if you have 2 or 3 in a lifetime, because it's someone who really listens. They're not there to necessarily give you advice, they're just there to be there for you, and it's a person that understands you, lets you cry, lets you be you, and then regardless of whatever decision that you make, they're there for you. And we all need that person. So just make sure whoever you choose to confide in, make sure it's someone that you can definitely trust, that's just definitely gonna be there for the long run. So know who your friends are.
True ride and die partner.
Miss Francois, I want to thank you so much for being with us and giving us a good laugh. And I hope it helps some of our listeners. And if not, they need to get your book.
Thank you so much for having me, Vanessa and Yolanda. Truly appreciate you guys. Strong sisters.
Yes.
It was a joy to be on the phone. You all are fun.
Oh, thank you so much. And I have to say, to those that are listening, those that are watching, definitely follow Miss Francoise, watch her show. You will get a good laugh, educational, but more than anything, do not forget to laugh at yourself. When you laugh at yourself, you're going to learn something about yourself, and then you also are going to love yourself as well.
Yeah, see, psychologist and therapist in one. Awesome job, Miss Yolanda.
So you got the complete package. Oh,
And to those of you who are watching and listening, we want you all to please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to contact us on our social media pages or our outlets. Don't forget to subscribe or like so you don't miss out on any of our great guests or great topics.